It's Philosophy Sunday. And on Philosophy Sunday, I get to extemporise on ideas. It's not really philosophy. It's more like jazz poetry. That's what I do on a Sunday. I get some rough idea in my head, and I sit down, and I see what I've got to say. There's one thing thinking things. There's another thing trying to put it into words. I love the Philosophy Sunday videos because I really am on a knife edge. I'm on a knife edge right now. The camera's running. I've already done 2 videos. I've been talking for 2 hours. And I feel like I've warmed up. I feel like I'm in the zone. And I feel like I've got something I want to talk about. But I don't know what I'm about to say. That's the whole point. I don't know what's going to come out here. But what I want to talk about is the idea of the English gentleman and the rock and roll star. Because these two things go together, and you wouldn't think it would you? You wouldn't think it. I'm going to put my hat on at this point. All right? So... there we go. There's a trend at the moment for these types of hats. These hats, when I was a kid, were only worn by very old men. Men who walked around with ferrets down their trousers, perhaps, and knew a little bit about, I don't know, smoking a pipe, poaching. But now, there's quite a cool type of person that will walk around with a hat like this. Of course, if I put it around the other way, it becomes comedy straight off. You see? Or I could be doing the, Tour de France. Bit of surreal humour. So, you know I love Englishness. And some people think it's jingoistic, and they think I might be a racist because I love Englishness. But I actually see it's the opposite of that. Because I think that Englishness embodies some incredible virtues. But if I was to tell you now, it would be all pompous. And you can't do that with your Englishman. Right? You might think that the sort of caricature of an Englishman is being pompous. And I do it every now and then. I go like this, I'm doing some very important stuff today. On Philosophy Sunday, I am an educated Englishman, not like the hoi polloi that, exist on the other side of the Atlantic over in the United States of America that probably don't understand the humour that's going on now, because they're very brash, aren't they, the Americans? They're always telling you how good they are and what a good day they're having. Aren't they? That type of thing. An Englishman would never do that, If you go up to an American and they go, how you doing? I'm doing great, man. How are you doing? It's a great day today. You having a good day? I'm having a good day. That's the American thing, is it's all about being like that, isn't it? The American dream. But as Bill Bailey once pointed out, when you go up to an English person and say, are you all right? Not bad. How are you? I'm not bad. Oh, that's good then, isn't it? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. That's all we can ask for, is for it not to be bad. Right? That's the English way. Right? You don't commit to anything. You don't say anything. You're not perturbed by anything. Right? And you're not upset by anything. You sort of go through life in this sort of comedic, pessimistic way, which actually we know that when someone says they're not bad, it's not really that they're just sat there as a quivering wreck wishing they, just hoping that the bad thing won't come along. It's not that. It's just the awareness of it not being bad is good. That's the philosophical point. What is good? Not bad. Think about it. Are you okay? I'm not bad. Oh, that's good. Yeah, there's no badness going on at the moment. What will you do if something bad does happen? Well, we'll have to take it on the chin, won't we? You know, bad things do happen. And it's, you know, a bit of that blitz mentality never hurt anybody, did it, you know? I mean, when you think about it, our grandparents were sitting there with bombs raining down on them. I can remember my father telling me that they had to go and run out into the garden and get in the, you know, they would have had to get in the old air raid shelter that they'd built in the garden, you know. And he told me a story once that his nan, who was very old at the time, never used to like to go outside. They go, oh, come on, Nan, you've got to come out. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go in the air raid shelter. But you can't stay here. They'd force her out, and they'd be trying to get her out into the garden. You know, get her into the shelter. And this one evening, she's coming out, and she's nearly there. The bombs are raining down, and she went, oh no, I've forgotten my false teeth. And my dad turns around and said, don't worry about their false teeth. They're dropping bombs, not cheese cobs. Now, that's an actual joke, that is. Now, some of you may have laughed at that joke. I heard that told by a black country comedian. Was it Tommy Munden? Tommy Munden was a great black country comedian, and I did a gig with him in the old days. These are legendary people. I've seen quite a few of them. And that joke, I killed myself laughing. Now, part of the reason why it's funny is because it's a choice of cheese cobs. And he said it in a black country accent. So that would have been like this. Oh, Dad, you got to get outside. Can't be staying in. I've got to go inside. I forgot my false teeth. Dad, in dropping bombs, not cheese cobs. Now, you see, that's even funnier, isn't it? But I didn't do that accent because I know that the Americans would have been going, what the hell's this accent Andy's doing? Well, this is the black country accent. It's like the Birmingham accent. I can't really differentiate because proper black country I can't do. That's like, I'm Jeff, I can 8 horse betwixt 2 palliasses. That's what, I can't even do it. It's like bloody, this ridiculous, like, old English. You know, have I gone back in time? Why am I talking about all this? I didn't mean to go here. I'd got a plan of what I wanted to talk to. I didn't want to talk about all this. But what I'm revelling in the absurdness of being English. Right? I love it. Right? I love the humour, but I also love to get out into the English countryside, and I love what it represents. There's a subtlety to the English country. I know the Americans have bloody Jellystone Park, you know, and Niagara Falls and the Grand Canyon. That's all bloody good. I'd love to see all that. We don't have this here in the United Kingdom. We just have a ploughed field and a stile that you have to climb over it, and you walk the dog. You have a walking stick as well, and you forage around in the hedgerows to see what you can find, and then you go, oh, it looks like it's getting, he might be spitting. It's going to start spitting in a minute. Spitting! It's going to be spitting. Oh, never mind. I got a cagoule. You got a cagoule? Yeah, I've got a cagoule here. Next to me flask. Yes, I've got some fig rolls if you fancy it. But I love all this. And the English people here, they all go, I'm really enjoying this video. I know it's not about music. I can expect it. I've come here for Andy to say something profound about music. And all he's talking about is bloody ferrets and fig rolls and bloody... it's spitting. Oh, I don't know. What's it look like outside? Yeah, it might warm up a little bit. Yeah, it might do. At the moment, looks like we might have a bit of spitting. Look at this. That's my galleon, that is. Now, why do you think I have a galleon? Do you think it has a deep esoteric meaning? No, it's not. I'll tell you why I've got my galleons here. Because there used to be a comedian, the late, great Victoria Wood, and she once spoofed a programme we have which is called the Antiques Roadshow.
£20,000.
You joking? What the heck do I do with it now?
And the Antiques Roadshow is basically this show where they go to a village hall and all these English types come along and they've got all this stuff and they show it to the experts who are always very posh. Not always, but often. And so you get some sort of more lower middle class type, maybe even working class, because we love the class system here in the United Kingdom. And they'll be chatting to this posh bloke. And so they'll be there like going, well, yeah, we've had this in the family for many a year. And my uncle said that it was actually worth quite a bit of money and we've kept it on the mantelpiece for many a year. And I thought, you know, if you could come down and give us a price. And then the bloke goes, yeah, let's have a look then, yes. Oh, yes. I don't even notice, but the quality of this rigging is telling me that this is not actually a 19th century. This is actually a copy. And if you just look under here, I don't want to spoil your day, but actually if you look at here, that brown ware there is a sign that this is absolutely a fake. And I'm afraid it's only worth a few quid. So how do you feel about that? Oh, I thought I was going to be one of the lucky ones, you know. And when they're lucky, bloody hell, it's a big deal. And I was watching Victoria would spoof this. And what was going on? They were basically spoofing that thing that I just did then. But in the background, they had this bloke. And he was standing there holding a galleon. And he was like this. That's all this bloke did, right? I could not stop laughing at this bloke. When I finished my degree in fine art, and I came out into the real world and I tried to make a living, came back to my hometown, and I started to put the word, I'm a painter. And all these blokes came up, and they were like the type of blokes that would smoke a fag like a used car salesman and go, oh, you want, mate? I mean, you do a little, I went Cockney, but I'll do that type of thing. Oh, I've heard you do a bit of the old painting, do you? Yeah. Well, I was wondering, if I give you 100 quid or so, could you do us an oil painting of a galleon? Yeah, galleon. Everyone's got galleons now. We all love them. I love a lovely galleon over the fireplace, but try and get an original in oil painting. It's like they cost a little bit of money, but you know, could you do rustle one of them up like a galleon? I can show you the sort of thing I want. And I was like, God, is this it? I've just spent like 4 years training to be a painter, and he wants me to sit there painting galleons, which are bloody hard because you have to do all the rigging with one of them little brushes. I couldn't do all that back then. I'd been bloody warped by modern art, wasn't I? So I tend to spoof these things. I bring this aesthetic in, right? Now, rock and roll, because we've done the 12 minutes of sort of insanity. Is anyone still watching? Hello, thank you for staying. Yeah, I know this is a weird one. It is a weird one. This is what you come for philosophy. So I thought, what with Rick Beato and all that film, I thought I'm going to come in here, no trickery, no special effects. This video will be raw. It will be raw like sushi, right? I'm just going to stick it straight up. Oh, no, because I've got to put the bloody the sound on, haven't I? Well, I'll stick to something. I'm not going to adorn it with any funny graphics. This is just going to be raw YouTubing. This is going to be me coming out and just talking. And in this case, not really talking about anything at all at the moment, just having, you know, flights of fancy around this idea of what I like about England. You know, I'm talking about the English aesthetic here. That's what I'm doing, you know. And so this looks a bit homemade, you know. I'm walking around, forgetting my lines. I don't know what I'm doing. That's all part of it. The ineptitude that is always on display. You know, I do this because... you know, there's a reason why I do it. It's not just because I'm inept. I am inept, by the way. But I use my ineptness as a feature of my of what I do here. And I think that's what makes me perhaps the most important YouTuber on YouTube at the moment, and many people have said this. This is why someone with so few subscribers has actually been spotted by the great Rick Beato. And that's why I got on there. A lot of people said, how come you got on there? And I felt like going, well, because I'm a really good YouTuber and probably the best YouTuber. And you're asking me, people go, how come Andy's got that? So I felt like it was bloody obvious. Because there's YouTubers out there, some very good ones. But when it comes to the best, right, it's me. And I think that's quite. I am not being boastful or arrogant in any way, shape, or form here. You might see that, but you're mistaken. You see, the way I was brought up by my parents was to always just tell the truth and say it the way it is. If people can't deal with it, they can't deal with it, right? And I know how YouTube works. I know how it works. I know what I'm doing here is not. This isn't what YouTube's for, right? But I love the fact. I love the fact there's an audience there. And I love the fact I can come out and do this. I love it. This is the best. Because this is just, what is this about? What am I doing? I've pushed the envelope of YouTube because I'm, very avant-garde. I'm doing it again. You see, I keep doing it. I am trying in a Brechterian way. I'm doing it again. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying in a Brechterian way for you to sort of alienate you. So you watch my video and goes, oh God, this is what Andy does. He's doing it like this is the most Andy video we've ever seen. He just hasn't got angry yet. He hasn't found something that he's really angry about. And I tell you something, that does get my goat. Oh, and he's not going to do this. Here he goes. But it does. What gets my goat is here I am working really hard, YouTubing, doing something that no one else is ever doing. No one's done this, right? You can look at the other ones. You can look at your bloody Mary Spenders or your Rick Beatos or that Davey 504 bloke with the dead eyes like that, who's got the brittle bones apparently. He came in and did an announcement last night. I was quite concerned for him. Or the more localer ones, the littler ones like, Prog Corner. I'm going to mention them all. Jim Newstead, Classic Album Review, Notes Review. All of them, right? Right. They don't hold a candle to me. And anybody who thinks, if they were arrogant enough to think, because when my channel was bloody, what really annoyed me when I didn't say it at the time because I was frightened. But I tell you something, as soon as I went, there was an Andy-shaped hole and they all came in trying to fill it. Remember that one bloke? Oh, I'll do a video. I'll do a video on a 6 o'clock and fill the gap while Andy's not here. If he doesn't come back, well, I might just be able to grab some of his bloody sunshine that emanates out from him. No, you cannot. Don't even think you can do that. Why would anyone think that for? What's wrong with people nowadays? Right, would they dance on my grave? Is that what they do? As soon as I'm gone, is somebody else going to put a hat on and try and do what I do? Well, I tell you something, I like to see them try, but if I am dead, I won't be able to see them, and thank God I won't be able to see them. You know why? Because I don't want to see them. Because I don't want to see someone trying to do what I do. Nobody can do this. Only I can do this. And when people realise that, maybe I'll get a little bit more credit than I actually get. And you lot watching at the moment, you think you're all laughing at this. I'm bloody angry now, and it's not right. Why, how much work? A video every single day for 3 bloody years. I had a break when my channel got taken down. I had an actual break. I was sat there in a deck chair eating a sausage roll thinking, bloody hell, this is lovely, this is. I'm enslaving away. And then people think, sort of my channel goes and they can just step into it, jump into it, bloody try to prize out the bloody YouTube juice out of my cold dead hand. Got a bit of a chart nested bit in the end there. You see bloody brilliant stuff in it. Bloody brilliant stuff. See? Dad, watch it. Oh, God, what's going on? Bloody hell, oh, God. Pride before the fall, that was. Pride before the... Oh, my God, what is this? What is going on here? What is going on? Bloody hell. Bloody... What? Oh, God, it's a right mess. Oh. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Coming in.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but just wanted to say a few words if that's okay. Is that alright?
No.
You okay?
No, everything's all right, yes. It's
You're
okay.
making a lot of noise.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no,
Honestly.
I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, I could see you be a bit concerned, yeah.
Well, okay then.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm all right.
okay, see you.
Yeah,
Bye.
but pick that up for us, yeah. And shut the door when you go out. I get a bit puffed, actually, you know, when I do that sort of the fake anger thing and the destruction and the chaos. I like it, you see, because a lot of my videos are about chaos. I am trying my hardest on this video to get round to talking about the English gentleman and rock and roll and how that works. And I'm not doing it, am I? And I think the reason I'm not doing it is because to talk about it would ruin it. It would ruin it. And I'm nearly at half an hour now, and I haven't actually got onto the subject, and I don't want to. It's there right in front of me, but I don't want to make the step. I am going to talk about something that I don't think anyone's ever talked about. English rock and rollers. Let's have a look at them out, shall we? Forget that thing about raw YouTube. I was lying. You can tell that by the chaos bit, you know, that there was a bit of sort of editing and sound effects. Foley, they call it, Foley. The Foley track or whatever it is, Foley. I've done a bit of the old Foley then. So there was a bit of that then. So you could see that it started off like raw YouTube. That's part of the concept. But we're going into this parallel reality, aren't we, really? We're going into a parallel reality here. That's what this is about. You've come here expecting me to talk about the English gentleman and rock and roll. And really, all I had as material was this. When you look at rock and roll, there's a lot of blokes in it that walk around like they're some sort of English gent. And you wouldn't expect that to be with rock and roll. Steven Tyler would never do it, for example, and Jim Morrison wouldn't do it. Only England would create rock and roll stars like this.
I'm Peter Gabriel. I'm sitting outside my studio. This is the Clyde Brook, which is the river that passes by us and travels down through Bristol to the sea.